here at the BIRTV 2023, Beijing International Radio and Television Show 2023. We're going to go have a look around at some cool products.
One of our first stops is over to the Nanlux or Nanlux booth.
Let's get a close-up shot of their new 2,400 watt cob light. It's amazing how these new LEDs are becoming more powerful today than before.
This is the new 1200B and the new 900 watt light from Nanlux or Nanlux. And she's explaining to me that if you have a 1200 watt ballast for the 1200 watt light, you can also use that with the 900 watt light here. This is the new Nanlux Dyno 1200C, which is an RGB LED panel. And this is a very bright LED panel. It also has a Lee Filters gel input, so you can change the color temperature to any specific, not just daylight or tungsten, which is 3200 or 5600 degrees Kelvin, but you can add some very cool effects from Lee Filters like white flame green. Now, MoveMax is a company I'm not real familiar with, but I stopped in their booth because I saw some of their car rig options. Now, this is not normally the kind of car rig stuff that I do, but it's an option out there, and they're offering a more affordable option of doing car-to-car stuff, or if you're into shooting car action chase scenes, or you are making car commercials and driving commercials, this is a perfect rig for you. Now, they've developed this pumping shock system, so it'll be more stabilized, and they also have a top dampening system, so when the arm springs up and down, you don't get a jerky bump at the top of the spring.
I have no idea what this is. I don't think you really have to play music anymore. I think you just do this and then it plays music automatically. So now you don't have to learn how to play guitar or anything. The guitar does it itself. That's pretty much crap.
I am a lover of telescopic cranes, so I had to go outside and check in with Peter, who is the CEO of MovieBird, who makes some of the best telescopic cranes on the market today. And he was very excited to show off the new MovieBird MB12. This is a 12-foot, completely vertical telescopic crane. That means you can go 100% 90-degree angle, and you can get some interesting shots of just a straight angle up and down. It also has a feature of a remote head that can be both underslung and overslung. And if I understand Peter correctly, he tells me that that's not a mechanical thing, it's an electronic deal. So you can overslung it electronically or undersling it electronically. Another impressive thing about this is the yoke system that can move in a both vertical situation, or you can pivot the yoke system up so you can get lower angle shots. And also a new feature about this crane is this triangular construction, which makes it more heavy duty much more wind resistant and much more shock resistant. And a golden goose of this crane is that two men can take this off the pillar and move it around mobility and make it more portable and get it in better situations. Because of the triangular construction, which makes it even more lightweight than its typical square construction that you see in most other techno cranes and telescopic cranes.
This is 12-footer, yeah.
This is 12-footer. We have one product which is 24, but we didn't do this here because we have exhibitions in Dubai, in Munich. It takes time, yeah. I have to put the equipment for Dubai and to the equipment for Munich because the shipment takes a very long time. But if you go on our webpage, movieBird.com, you can see the equipment live. The next one is going to be 45 feet triangle. Yes.
Nice. Were you at Singear?
Yeah, well, this is it. Okay. There used to be my company also with the grips in
Oh, okay. Baby guys.
That's right.
Just like,
But if you want to go under the level, yeah, just make a regular crane, yeah. You can move this forward and then it becomes a regular crane. Yes.
okay. So then you can go all the way down.
Yes, that's right.
Nice. Very good.
Now we head over to the Aputure booth and we see their new remote head where you can hang a light into the sky or you can hang this on a condor. You have full remote capability of pan and tilt with your light.
From Aputure. It's an RGB WW light, and it ranges from 2,000 to 10,000 degrees Kelvin, plus all your HMI functions. But a very nice spot Fresnel lens on the front. Goes down to an 18 degree spot, which is pretty nice. My wife is going it will go all the way up, I don't know, 50 some degrees.
你要跟那个说能支持之后的这个大门更大。可以，也可以。
The Aputure CF15, CS15.
说时光筒吧，那个时光筒，这是飞面够近的。
Maximum 50 degree.
对啊，电
50 degree flood there.
10档非常之后呢。
Nice.
这玩意儿绿色的，有人说这包装商品，说何必原来不好的呀？你花钱又解决不了。
Oh, you can change the beam angle from here too. Oh, nice, nice. So you can change the beam angle all from the ballast. So if you're hanging up in the sky, you can do everything, and you can do it through DMX too, right?
Yeah.
What kind of price tag is on this light? Let's just say the head itself. 7,000 US. And then the extension for the Fresnel. How much? You don't know yet. Okay. And it comes with the basic reflector. Light reflector.
Basically, I will have it so we have
MoMA, or Hollyland Mars, known in the United States, is a very impressive company who makes a lot of wireless technology, a lot of wireless video transmitters and wireless comms so you can speak back and forth between your production crew. I have the privilege of testing out some of Holly Landmar's products before, and they're always coming up with new affordable ways of wirelessly transmitting anything you need for your production needs. I've always got to stop off at one of my favorite editing suites and camera companies, and that's Blackmagic. So I really wanted to play with both their large console and their small mini editing console. Sadly, Blackmagic hasn't released a new camera yet. There are always rumors about Blackmagic. Everybody's watching to see what the new thing Blackmagic will do, but they haven't quite done it yet. But I had to go over and play with the new Ursa Mini 12K with the OLPF filter on it. Very impressive. I love this camera. It's got a beautiful image, and I can never speak badly about Blackmagic. Next, I had to pop over to my very good friend Kenson and Zcam, and he was really excited to show me some of the new Zcam products coming out today. One of those being the new Zolar 600 watt LED panel. Works just like the smaller Zolars, except they've made a few little improvements. They put a lens on every LED diode that give you a better focus of the light. And it has your same HSI and Lee and Roscoe filter gels with many different effects. Here we're having a little friendly discussion about it's also a fraction of the price of a sky panel. And he was super excited to show to me their new RGB panel, lightweight, very small panels, which are DC powered, which allows them to be used in certain conditions like in water. If you're doing fish tanks, if you're shooting on set in a massive fish tank, or if you're shooting a scene and you have a pool in that scene, you can drop one of these lights into that pool safely since it's DC powered, and you can light up that pool any way you want. And since it's RGB, you can change the color of that pool. Now I have to thank Kenson and Zcam a lot because they actually let me test out a lot of their products. One of those products I got to test out was the Zcam E2 F6. Very impressive box style camera. One of these cameras they actually used on Mission Impossible. So we shared some set stories and talked about life working on big feature films and how the camera industry is moving with all this great new technology and these much smaller cameras that you can get on drones in tighter situations and just overall crash cams and everything else you need to shoot major Hollywood blockbuster action scenes. And he was very excited to show me what they've done with the new E2 F6 Pro, which is an updated version of the E2 F6. What makes this Pro is it has a new integrated video monitor. With this new monitor, it is completely latency free. Another impressive thing about this camera is they've added SDI, and they've come out with something very exciting, a new NVMe SSD drive that you can plug right into the CFast slot. Very impressive from Zcam. Always like to go to their booth and see what new innovative cameras and lighting that they're coming out with. And our last booth, but very much not our least booth, is Sunny Xiao. Now, if you watch my YouTube channel, you know I've done a lot of work with Sunny Xiao, testing out all their LED panels, and every one of their panels are very impressive. What I like, it's their high wattage, high light output, and RGB WW light with both Lee and Roscoe filter selections. Why do I always stress about Roscoe and Lee filters? That's because you can change the color output of this light to a specification of Lee filters and Roscoe filters without having to add gels onto the light or 4x4 frames onto the light. This is going to save you space and time and money and rigging equipment when shooting on any set, either feature film or commercial. Now we hope to see much more from Sunny Xiao in the future and to get these out on some other sets as we continue shooting for our own production company. Now that's going to do it for Beijing International Radio and Television Show. I can't shoot everything, I only wanted to go for a couple days and check out some of the highlights, but you could really get lost for 5 days seeing all the new cool equipment coming out these days. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, and remember to go out there, check out the new gear, and to always keep shooting.